Hey there, and welcome back to another episode of Be Encouraged Moments. I have to say it because I always do. We are so grateful that you guys are here and that you're watching our videos. I would like to do a little housekeeping really quick before we dive into this video. I know that we posted 2 videos. I'm so excited about our Brandon the Bee being buzzing adventure game. And we had some technical difficulties and the game didn't launch exactly when we expected it to. We are well aware of that. Many of you should know, and if you don't, the game is live on Apple now.
Yes, it is.
And Google Play, I just got a notification saying that it should be up, any day now if it's not already. So I just want to let you guys know that we are aware. We thought about pulling the videos down, but we just wanted to let you guys be excited with us and be looking for it. So build up anticipation.
Yes.
So that's just the one thing that I wanted to say about that. Today, we're going to be talking about raising kids. I think this is a very relevant topic considering our audience. And so I just wanted to talk about some things that have been on my mind recently. I think it's pretty safe to say that I don't care how old your kids are. I don't care if they're babies in arms or if they're 40 years old or if they're not even born yet. Mother bear instinct kicks in and you will do anything for your children. I think I can say that with complete confidence to everyone I'm talking to out there. As mothers, there is just this, we're just wired to want to protect for our children and to provide for our children. And that's the piece that I want to talk about today, is the providing aspect. As you watch your kids grow, you want them to believe that they can be anything they want to be. They can be the president, they can be an astronaut, they can be whatever it is that they dream to be. And you want to do whatever you can to give them the opportunities to do that. But as they get older, the reality of that may not necessarily, we can be anything that we want to be. That's absolutely true. But there are things that stand in our way, whether it's ourselves or whether it's finances, whether, the list could go on and on. So where am I going with all of this? Marley has gotten into theater in a way that I never thought that she would. She wants to be on Broadway. That is her goal in life, which I support. I 100% want to stand by her. Is it an easy career to break into? Absolutely not. And does everybody who go out for it make it? No. And so how, as a parent, do I prepare her, especially with her being, 12, 13, she is getting to that age where, she's kind of thinking about what she wants to be. And I've put her on a path where she's in a school where she can pick her courses and things like that. So I've had to have that conversation with her that, this is a hard path. And while I will support you in that path, you may be a starving artist for a very long time. So we started talking about other ways for her to pick a career path. And yes, at 12, 13, she's got a long time to figure this out. I know that. I am not pushing her in any way, shape, or form, but these are conversations that she's wanting to have. So I just want to clarify that. So one of the things that I brought to the table, knowing her mathematical brain and knowing her scientific brain, why don't you consider something in the arts that's not the arts? And so the Imagineering, I don't know how many of you guys know what that terminology means, but Imagineering is a term that was coined by Disney. And it's these people who work for Disney who do all kinds of creatives, whether they're doing the mechanics of a ride or whether they're doing the design of the ride. They all have the same title, but they do different pieces. And the definition's fun, so I'm just gonna read it to you. It's a person who devises and implements a new or highly imaginative concept or technology, in particular one who devises the attractions in the Walt Disney parks. Okay, so why is all of this relevant? Well, I had the opportunity to have Marley have a sit-down dinner it was an intimate setting with about 15 people with a gentleman by the name of Bob Gurr. He is 92 years old and he is the last surviving Imagineer who worked alongside Walt Disney, which, again, you guys know how Disney nuts I am. This is a big deal for us. It was a big deal for me just because I thought it was cool, but for a daughter who wants to do this as a career and who actually wants to design these rides, specifically in Paris, this is massive. So we went and we had this conversation with him. And the coolest thing happened when she was asking him questions about what do I do to get on the path to become an Imagineer? His answers blew me away. and got me thinking about a lot of stuff. So when she asked him what she should do to be an Imagineer, he point blank told her, it's not necessarily about the degree that you have. While those are important, and I do encourage you to go to school, it's about your imagination, what I just read in that definition. And it's about never stopping asking questions, always being willing to learn something new, always be willing and open to the possibility of new explanations for things, new ways of looking at things, new ways of understanding things. And the whole evening was just full of that. It was full of him talking about the excitement of the job and how it was constantly, well, I know this mechanic works this way, but it doesn't really fit in the plan that we have. So how can we take that and add it to this? It was so cool. Icing on top of that cake, I had an opportunity for her to meet a professional Broadway individual. I'm not sure what the title for that is. Actress, I guess, Broadway actress. And she was phenomenal. And again, as the kids sat there and asked questions, it was really interesting to me as an adult to hear the answers coming back to them, because it was all about being open, being willing to go where the path leads you, being willing to learn new techniques, to be readily available to take on a new role, to never close yourself off to this one singular path, basically. And I think that's amazing to not only be teaching your kids as a whole, because I think this idea of allowing our kids to constantly be learning, but it triggered something inside of me. It was this concept that as adults, I think we begin to let ourselves be closed off. We stop being that child that God designed us to be, to wonder, to find amazement in things, to find joy in things, and to, like I said, to stop being open. And I want to challenge all of you to think about that. I don't care how old you are. I don't care how old your kids are. There are still opportunities for you to learn something new.
Absolutely.
There are still opportunities for you to pick up a new hobby. Like I said, it doesn't matter what age you are. You could start doing pottery. I mean, it's things that challenge your brain, that challenge you. Maybe it's physically even, but all of that being open to new opportunities and not knowing where that path is going to take you. So this whole video today is more about my musings. It's about me just thinking through things, which some of that is what we do on here, is just us talking about what we've discovered in the world. I've always been one that has asked questions and wanted to learn more, and I'm constantly reading books about new things that I haven't, but I never really heard anybody else identify the reason behind that until recently. And that's been a lot of fun for me. This idea of continuing to be open, because you don't know what the path that God has laid out for you is. There may still be brand new adventures for you out there. And as a mother, I think we get so wrapped up in this idea of our kids, which I think is great. But I think you also need to be thinking about how you, in that world, are growing as well. Your kids are opening you up to new things and allowing you to see new things.
Yes.
And I'm not going to go down a rosy path because I've already been talking a lot here, but one of the best examples, and I'll bring it up on another video, and I'm sure I've touched on it before, is that I used to train horses for a living. I was on the rodeo circuit, and I went to Worlds, I went to Nationals, I did a lot of stuff with horses, and everybody asked me why Marley doesn't ride horses. And I said, because Marley doesn't want to ride horses, and so it's the opportunity. But because of that, I have been exposed to all kinds of things that I never would have been exposed to, because that was my path, or at least I thought that was my path. But God had another plan for me, and I was open to the plan that God set before me. So again, I want you all to be encouraged. I want you guys to open up your mind. I want you to be willing to pick up that book and read how to do something new, or go to a new class and learn how to make a pot. Whatever the case may be for you, I challenge you to be open, and I challenge you to be open with your children as well. Thank you, as always, for joining us for our Be Encouraged moment.